there was what Caitlin Clark did on her big day. She was surprised by the Fever organization after a workout with a birthday serenade and the like, but it was the video that they shared of her workout that blew up everywhere, and that's because Caitlin Clark was knocking down threes. 50 of 54, according to the team on the post.
Did you see what Caitlin Clark just did on her birthday? She didn't just practice her threes. She rewrote the rules of what's possible. 50 out of 54 three-pointers. That's not a typo, that's 93% accuracy from beyond the arc. You might be thinking, it's just practice. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not some one-hit wonder. She's coming off a rookie season where she averaged 19 points and 9 assists, and now she's ready to set the WNBA on fire. Stick around because we're about to break down how this could be the greatest point guard season we've ever seen.
Sure, look, either way, Caitlin Clark's going to be better than last year. Touch wood, barring injury, it's likely we see the greatest ever season for a point guard in WNBA history next season.
Remember when everyone was doubting Caitlin Clark last season? Well, you're not going to believe what happened next. Let's rewind to Clark's rookie season in the WNBA. The expectations were sky high, the pressure was intense, and things didn't exactly go as planned. Here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's shooting percentages weren't what we expected from the sharpshooter we knew in college.
One aspect of Clark's game that I wouldn't say was bad, but her percentage at three wasn't as high as it was the year prior at Iowa. Now, that a lot of that can be from going from one season to the next, obviously adjusting to the WNBA defenses.
This is the same player who was draining threes like they were layups at Iowa. You might be thinking, is this the end of Clark's sharpshooting reputation? Not so fast. Clark's rookie season was a bit of a roller coaster. In her first 10 games, she was struggling to find her rhythm. Her assist-to-turnover ratio was nearly 1-to-1, and her shooting percentages were all over the place, sometimes dipping below 30%. It was tough to watch for fans who knew what she was capable of.
We do forget that Caitlin Clark's numbers last season, she didn't have the greatest first 10 games. She wasn't bad in the first 10 games, but she had a near 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Her percentages were all over the place.
But here's the thing about Caitlin Clark. She's not one to back down from a challenge. Despite the rocky start, she still managed to average 19 points and nearly 9 assists per game. That's pretty impressive for a rookie, right? But Clark wasn't satisfied. She knew she could do better. Now, fast forward to her recent practice session. And you're going to want to sit down for this. Clark shot 50 out of 54 threes. That's not a typo, folks. We're talking about a mind-blowing 93% accuracy. Can you even imagine making 50 out of 54 threes? That's not just good. That's out of this world amazing.
It is silly how good of a shooter Caitlin Clark is. But to be fair, obviously, I think there are more players in the WNBA that can do this in a workout. I don't think this is unique. Not that it's 50-54 is crazy. That's 93% through 50, which is madness. That's a serious number. That is a serious number, and I'm not sure how long it would take any shooter in the WNBA to do that. But the fact that they're
So now you're probably wondering, how did she make such a massive improvement? Let's break it down. Clark's been working her tail off, that's how. Her development coach spilled the beans on what's been going on behind the scenes. They've been focusing on changing her pace and tightening up her shooting mechanics. It's all about fine-tuning that already incredible talent. And get this, Clark's shooting coach isn't just aiming for good. They're aiming for greatness. In her practice sessions, they're pushing for an average of 80% from beyond the arc. That's a huge leap from her rookie season numbers. It's like Clark took those struggles personally and decided to turn them into fuel for her improvement. This isn't just a jump in her numbers, it's a full-on transformation, and she's ready to light up the WNBA like never before.
On her birthday, she steps in and she goes and shoots 93% from the three in a workout. Is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I was like,
Clark's 93% accuracy in practice isn't just impressive. It's a sign of something bigger. Elite shooters usually hit around 80%, but Clark's consistency at 93% shows her game is on another level. It's not just raw talent, it's about mastering mechanics and staying mentally sharp. When a player is that precise in practice, it's a strong indicator that she's ready to dominate when it counts on the court.
one thing is that she's practicing more a lot of corner threes. I can't remember the last time Caitlin Clark shot a corner three. Honestly, I can't remember. And it was funny, if you saw the home workout she used to do, the basketball court she used to shoot on didn't have corners. So it's like, that's why she never shoots the corner three, because in the summer she doesn't practice the corner three. But
Exactly. When Clark's draining those threes, it's not just about shooting form, it's about building muscle memory, where her body instinctively knows how to make the perfect shot. Each repetition is helping her fine-tune her mechanics, making her movements more efficient and natural. But it goes deeper than that. It's also a mental game. Her focus and confidence are growing with every shot, and as she consistently nails those threes, she's programming her mind to believe in her ability to hit that shot in any game situation. This is how top-level athletes break through barriers. They turn skill into instinct.
And obviously, look, Caitlin Clark's one of the best shooters in the world of basketball. But like, it's silly. Like, for regular people, this is like absolutely absurd.
Clark's high shooting percentage in practice helps build muscle memory, allowing her to perform under pressure in games. It's about developing a consistency that translates to clutch moments, where her body naturally executes the right shot, no matter the stakes.
And now I'm just looking at Caitlin Clark shooting 93% on a higher amount of shots. That is ludicrous. Like, that is absolutely ludicrous. And just a random workout. Like, I can guarantee you she's probably had workouts better than that.
You're right. Practice and game day are worlds apart. But Clark's consistency in form, shot after shot, is what makes her such a threat. The way she repeats the same motion every time builds muscle memory so strong that, come game time, her body just knows what to do. This form is key to her ability to stay composed and hit those big shots when it matters most. The practice translates to game-time success because she's not relying on luck, but on a trained automatic response.
Look, she's repeating that same motion every time. It looks exactly the same every time. There's no difference in any of these shots, right? It would look like you were seeing a replay. You're watching, and that's the most important thing with shooting. It's not about whether it goes in or not. It's about whether you are approaching it the same every time. You say let it fly, right? Like, you can miss 1,000 shots in a row. You got to shoot the next one when you're open. That's part of being a shooter.
If Clark can keep up this practice consistency and bring it to the games, she could absolutely reshape how the WNBA approaches shooting. Her range is already scary, but imagine if that 93% shooting translates into games. Defenders won't be able to relax anywhere on the floor. But here's the kicker. Her shooting might not even be the most dangerous part of her game. Coaches are already calling her a complete floor general. That's not just about shooting, it's about her vision, her playmaking ability, and how she can run an offense. If she continues to develop that aspect of her game, the whole league is going to have to rethink their defensive strategies.
The workout from Caitlin Clark. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, she does a lot more than shoot threes, but yeah, she also does that pretty well.
Exactly, being a great point guard isn't just about scoring. It's about controlling the flow of the game, setting up your teammates, and making everyone around you better. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark did during her rookie season. Sure, she lit up the scoreboard, but she wasn't just putting up numbers. She was also dishing out nearly 9 assists per game. To put that into perspective, most point guards take a few years to reach those numbers, but Clark did it right out of the gate. She's already demonstrating elite court vision and an ability to make her teammates better. which is what makes her so special.
But looks like her form is crisp and refined. And I think when you take into combination the fact that Clark is going to have fresh legs before next season because she hasn't had that extended period of time off from basketball. I mean, who knows when the last time she did? Obviously, she had none this past year in her rookie year in the WNBA. So the fresh legs will be a factor.
The fact is that she's there. Like in college, it was, I'm going for 70% shooting from three. Like that's kind of the workouts. That's the number she's looking to hit. She's probably up that to 80 is deep. I'd say 80% is probably her average 3-point shooting workout, which is crazy.
Hold on, because this is where things get wild. Caitlin Clark isn't just resting on her rookie success. She's pushing herself to be even better. Her coaches are focused on refining her entire game, not just her shooting. We're talking about tweaking her pace, tightening her mechanics, and developing her into a complete player. When that kind of attention is applied to an already elite talent, it's a recipe for something terrifying for opposing teams. Now, if you're wondering, how much better can she really get? Buckle up, because some people are saying her rookie season was just the beginning. In fact, some are even claiming it might be the worst version of her potential. Let that sink in for a second. Her first season was already elite, and we're just getting started. Imagine what she's going to be capable of in the years to come.
Like the Caitlin Clark that's going to come in next year. Like you can see, just look at her right arm. Just look at her right arm compared to last year. Like she's obviously still skinny, but like there is literally Caitlin Clark. Obviously Amber Cox is there. Someone else is there giving her a birthday cake. But like how many, it's like our coaches in front office. There are 4 individual coaches there for just Caitlin. Just Caitlin Clark.
If Clark's rookie season was any indication, her best is going to be absolutely terrifying for the rest of the league. Yes, she had some growing pains, like her assist-to-turnover ratio being nearly 1-1, which is typical for a rookie adjusting to the WNBA's pace and intensity. But instead of letting that define her, Clark has turned it into motivation. She's focused on developing all aspects of her game, and she's evolving into more than just a shooter. She's becoming a true floor general. She's working on improving her pace, keeping defenders off balance, and tightening up her mechanics. It's like Clark has upgraded from a sports car to a Formula One racer, and if she keeps progressing at this rate, the WNBA is in for a serious shift in its landscape. The league better brace itself for what's to come, because Clark is only getting started.